Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm Muntasir Rahman Wain. So in this video we will solve a problem uh, in C, which is um, basically full pyramid star pattern in C program. So the output will look like this one. Well, in the previous video we solved or made a half pyramid, but in this case we will just uh, print the full pyramid, which is this will be the half pyramid that we did it previous, and we'll just have to do extra, which is this one. We can do this in quite some ways, but uh, I know two steps, to be honest. Two ways, that's using nested for loops, which are three for loops basically, which are I, j, and another variable which I can take k or something like that, or I can use two for loops, and in the second for loop I can use a conditional, that is else. So let's get with it. I will use the later one, which is using two for loops and one um, nested conditional. So let's get it done. So I will just edit this code. I will take this will be enough, these variables will be enough. This is the variable declaration. Mm. Well, first of all, look at the pyramid. So in this pyramid we see that this is the number of row and this is the number of column. It's a kind of a matrix. uh, Almost every single pattern uh, is a visual representation of matrix. So we will have to, in order to use that if else condition, we will have to make sure that we know the basic structure or basic things about matrix. So if we look at this pyramid, this is if this is one, this column row value 1 2 3 4 5. So in this here, so here the n equals to 5, which is row equals to 5. For this reason, if n equals to 5, the column value will be 5. So we will write the code here. So scanf will take the value from the what I'm gonna say, from the user, and then we will use some for loops. For this for loop, this first for loop will be from the for the row, and j represents the column. So for I equals to 1, I is less than or equals to n, and I plus plus, if we will start the pattern from I, and it will end in n, and it will be an increment value. And after that, if this condition is true, then the loop the process will go into this loop, which is j equals to 1, j is greater than or equals to. Okay, so in order to use a nested loop, which is consist of two for loops and the condition, we will have to use some basic formulas here. So for j equals to 1, j is less than or equals to 2 into n minus 1 and j plus plus. Well, this is basically a formula which is used in pyramid patterns. In order to show this formula, I will have to make a huge arrangement, which I cannot do right now. So I won't show that in here. But this is a formula. That's because there's a matrix, and I don't want to print every single stars in every single matrix positions. That's why this is the formula we are using here. So now we will use the if else formula. So if, let me put some tab here, if I did a rough before this uh, coding, so I'm using that rough right here. Actually, this one requires some formulas in order to use conditional and lessen the use of for loops. That's why there is a huge need of formulas. So I will use some uh, formulas here. So if j is less than or equals to n minus I minus 1, sorry, and here's an operator, and j is less than, sorry, j is, here I use j is greater than n into n minus I minus 1, and j is less than or equals to n plus I minus 1, then we will use the printf value. Else printf, sorry, printf space. So as I used a space here, I will have to use a space here, another space in here. So this will basically the end of this. So I will, okay, I used another mistake. So let's go. So basically this is the patterns. Okay, so let's give a manual tracing of this thing. As we can see that we don't use every single matrix's point here for this value, which is the value of column, row and column, which is basically the value of n, which is basically the value of row and the row. So for this one we are using normal condition, and for the column value we are using 2 into n minus 1, well, n minus 1 and j plus plus, which is the value of column. And in here in the condition value we are using this part basically for this part for this part, and this part for this part. And as we are printing the value of n, which is the value of row, we don't need to use any condition here. So from this one we come to learn the pattern problem of pyramid. Hope you understand this problem quite well. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video.